All right, welcome back. This is episode number 15 of Discovering Foundations of Truth. My name is John Lemus.
My name is Hussein Ambrois.
And I'm Justin Mullen, J.M. Mullen.
Okay, as far as why we actually kind of meet, the more things in your life that seem to be going kind of awry basically tells you what parts of God's truth you don't really understand about life. Because the more truths you understand, the smoother your life is going to be.
Right.
I'm actually going to start out with a couple questions for you guys that will get your minds working a little bit. My first question, and both of you guys will end up answering. What do I have in my life right now that 100% I know I don't want or need in my life any longer? So what is in your life right now that could go away tomorrow and you would not be mad? Just think about that for a second.
Hey. I mean, like I say, my vehicles.
Your vehicles?
Yeah.
So how's that going? Like I know it's seasonal kind of thing, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't seem like
But it wouldn't really matter.
Yeah.
All I need to go to one place to another. I don't care what the car look like. Or none of
Okay.
that. Yeah.
All right. Do you have anything in your life right now?
Say vehicles, man. You got plural.
Oh, he's
man.
got
Wow.
a few.
Yeah.
He's got- yeah. Time to rough in the hood, you know.
Yeah. I'm sure there is. I gotta think about that for just
Okay.
just a tad,
I'm
yeah.
trying to think about me. What could go? Man, the second job I have with the dogs, if they went away tomorrow, I'd be okay. I mean, there's definitely money
Yeah.
to be made, but it's like
It's okay. It's about peace, not about the money.
Oh, yeah, that's probably
Things
what
So,
mine is.
that
you don't got to
have in
chase
my life
money if
right
you already
now.
got it.
There's something extra in your life right now. If it just will go away and give you more time to do what you want to do.
Wow.
Like this stupid mic.
Man, that's a good question, man. Wow.
Yeah, I thought about it too. I ain't know.
I'm saying I'm trying to stretch your brain a little bit. We can always get back to that.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the next one. Okay, what do I need more of or new in my life as soon as possible?
What I need more of?
Yeah. What do you think?
Look at it like I need more assets in my life. I look at it.
More what?
Assets.
More assets. Okay,
Yeah.
you're right on the right track. That's
Mhm.
good. I probably need more. Man, I have to say probably. I guess downtime or a little bit
Yeah.
of time to myself or peace. You know, that's not always hustling and bustling. You know,
Right.
A little more.
With the mic, you could just bend it like this and just scoot up. So it'll make it a lot easier for you.
So if you bend it in, yeah.
Because now you hold it.
All right. So
Okay,
he's the technical.
Yeah.
So what do you need more of in your life there, Jay? What do you think? He's like, I didn't know there was going to be a test. I had to study.
Wow, yeah. I think I need more of a positive male village of men to pour into me and
Hold you accountable and stuff.
hold me accountable.
Oh, that's
things
dope.
like that. Yeah.
That's definitely a must for
Yeah. I think
young males.
Yeah. I'll be 40 next month though.
I believe
Oh, that's a
Oh,
blessing.
goodness.
That's
Yeah.
I'll be 50.
I-
55. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'll be
and I
55
still-
in May.
I
Yeah.
still need that.
I'm nowhere near those numbers.
Nah,
but
you're 20,
Yeah.
23.
23 right
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, what actions in your life you're currently taking that you already know aren't good for you? So think about what you're doing right now, that actions that you're taking that you think they're just not working out as well as you want them to, so they're kind of holding you back from what you really want to do.
I mean, for me, it can be like a social media point of view. Sometimes I sit there for hours just scrolling for no reason and stuff like that. I can be doing that. I could be doing something else with that time.
Absolutely.
That was a great one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Social media is a monster.
Yeah.
It's a monster. I mean, it could be used,
Mhm.
as a
I use it.
vehicle,
I use it.
right, as a
I use it
positive.
as a vehicle to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of podcasts and a lot of things
Definitely.
that I use it for. But
There's also
Not
a lot of beautiful women. On
Yeah,
there, too.
I use it both ways
Yeah.
from a point of view. But if the business ain't going, if there ain't nothing going on with the business, I'm just scrolling. So yeah, that's
so any actions you're currently taking, you already know they're not good for you.
Yeah, I think dealing with women,
Yeah.
and they're always positive, I guess relationships on the surface, but then when you involve intimacy and things like that, which I do, and now a lot of times people's feelings and
That's
and
called
emotions
soul
are involved.
tie, bro.
Soul tie, yeah.
That's what that
Yeah.
is. Once you tie that soul, that's a little tough.
Yeah, I gotta figure out a way to kind of like put a handle on that a little bit.
Quit tying the soul.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, what actions do I already know I need to be taking in my life that will make a positive difference trying to achieve your goals and stuff like that?
What actions am I taking?
Now, what actions do you already know you need to be taking? So, what can you do to get rid of some of the old stuff or start? Biggest thing
I
is
mean-
not worry about the old stuff. You don't
Yeah.
want to fix something that's wrong.
Definitely,
You
definitely.
want to push something new.
Motivating myself as I look at it, because sometimes I can get to a lazy point of view and just tell myself, nah, I'll do it later. And,
So,
sometimes
what's
it's better.
motivation or discipline?
What's it called? Discipline is better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, man, you coming
Yeah,
with it.
I'm just asking.
Lane's
Yeah.
coming with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because motivation comes and goes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
yeah. So if you get a discipline and you get something you're doing all the
Be
time,
constant.
it just
Definitely.
you get the compound effect with that, with the discipline. I think I would have to say my stuff would be getting a little bit more organized. I got a lot of stuff. So I got a lot of stuff in my garage, a lot of stuff in my house. It's like a lot of it's from my wife. It needs to be organized though. If it doesn't have a place, it should go.
You right
If you
about
ain't used
that
it in
one.
2 years, it's like, what do you got it for? Maybe one day. No, that one day is never gonna come.
Right.
And if I need it, I could get it again. It isn't like
Nice and
trying to make that
simple.
rough.
Yeah.
I'm a second you on that one, Lane.
Yeah.
Organization, and I just had a daughter 3 years ago, and I'm realizing how important organization, discipline, and just I'll speak about organization. Organization is huge, man.
That's dope. That's dope.
And prioritizing the right things. So.
I'm telling you, your mind is clear when your area is clear. The more cluttered your area is, your mind goes the same way. So, all right, number 5. Who am I spending time with that brings me down, keeps me feeling guilty, lacking confidence? Are you spending time with anybody that kind of draws away from what you're trying to do?
You draw, yeah, but ain't nobody put me down.
So you don't allow it to pull you down.
No. I mean, I just go
They
chill
call
with the
them energy
guys.
Vampires.
Yeah, but you ain't gonna put me down. Something I want to do.
Okay.
Yeah, I just
Something you wanna do.
whenever I want some entertainment, I do my thing with my guys, and other than that, it ain't nothing much.
Wow.
I really don't spend time with too many people. To tell you the truth, I used to spend a lot of time, doing stuff with the younger guys, but I don't do that as much anymore. Because a lot of my time is taken up from that as dogs.
Yeah.
So that's a good 2 hours in the morning, about 2 or 3 hours at night. That's 5 hours solid, along with the 8-hour work days. Like, there ain't much time left.
Yeah, you got that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I spend a lot of time with my daughter.
Uh-huh.
Hey,
I got the,
think
custodial.
the last time you came with your daughter,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I remember. Yeah,
Neighborhood Academy. Yeah,
definitely.
So, and then the other spare time is what I was talking about, chasing women. So, but
So if your mindset is chasing women, you're
Right.
never going to get the one you
right.
want.
But no, to be in all honesty, I don't chase women. But I do find myself in situations where, with certain women, I guess that I don't know exactly where it's going. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Hot enough.
So you gotta just see the intentions up front. You got, yeah. What's your intention? What's her intentions?
Yeah,
That's how I look at it.
yeah. That's real.
All right, move to this last one here for this question. What type of people do I want to invite into my life that I know will help me thrive? You kind of already answered this one. If you could find a group of guys kind of on the right path.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who do I want to invite into my life? I guess somebody that's like doing what I'm doing a little bit, but has been doing it longer, maybe like a mentor type thing.
I can feel it. Yeah,
I've already been a mentor, so it's like hard to take on somebody else. But
yeah.
And I had a question for you. Lynn.
Go ahead, yeah.
Because you've been such a huge mentor in my life and in the life of others. Have you had a mentor? I know you talk about your dad.
Ooh, that's
lot
a good
and things
question.
like that, but
Yeah, my
where do you
dad,
get the mentorship spirit from?
I'm telling you, I was sitting at a class. I was taking, like when you're a teacher, you have to do follow-up credits. So I was sitting in a class thinking. They were talking about opportunities. They're talking about, what can you do for kids and for teaching and stuff. And I thought to myself, the kids really want to do a bunch of different things, but they just haven't seen anything different, you know. So I kind of took that on as, you know, being somebody to be able to show something different. You know, at least some person is different. It's not trying to take from everybody. And just
I guess
trying
it has to be a real love for us too, though, because you've been doing it for so long. Like,
yeah, it
the
is
mo-
me now. Yeah,
it's
it has
just
nothing to do
part
with
of your
doing
life.
it anymore. Yeah,
it's
it's
just
being.
being.
Yeah, so,
Wow.
yeah. All right, now this one, we're going to move right into the actual real questions. Here's a statement. What I do is I read a statement, and then you try to tell me what it says to you.
Cool.
Okay, your life goes where your language flows. To change the direction, you must change your conversation. So
You
your
got-
life goes where your language flows. To change the direction of your life, you got to change your conversation.
For
Power
sure.
of
You
the
got,
tongue. Power
Yeah.
of the tongue.
For sure.
you got to talk
Life-
about what matters and what the people wants.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, give me an example. What you think of is like speaking in the right direction. What would you
What
Yeah,
what
like-
point of view?
like the right direction? I'll give you an idea. Like talking about the future is kind of the right direction.
Okay.
Whereas staying in the past, you can't really change the past. All you can do is learn from it. You can actually kind of reshape it or reframe it, what happened in the past, but you don't want to stay in the past. So you
Right.
desire typical conversation to create the future that you desire. The second one is you want to talk about your opportunities as opposed to your problems. See, a lot of people sit around and talk about, you know, I used to do this, used to do that, but what are you doing now?
Ooh,
You know,
that's
if you talk about your opportunities now, then that puts your mindset right. There's an opportunity even in your crisis. So when you choose to focus on the goodness of God and the opportunities you have, that's where you're going to head. That's where your conversation goes. That's where your energy is going to go. Another one is exploring your faith, your convictions, your values, and your goals. They'll set you on a path to achieving, you know, what you actually do. But if you never really set any goals or never, you know, trying to set values or anything like that, you're not going to work towards them. And the last one is talk about your project. It's filled with conversational energies and states. So you want to re-energize your projects with creative conversations. So you got to be working on something.
Oh, for sure.
You're talking about, you know, trying to find a female that is compatible. Females are actually supposed to come into your life as like a helpmate. But if you're not on a project or you're not doing something yourself, they have nothing to help.
All right. They
So I'm
just
telling
gonna
you,
be
I was
right with
teaching,
you.
and I really didn't need, you know, the companionship was nice, but I mean, she couldn't really help me with my teaching. So, like I
Right.
said, she started a business. Now I'm almost her helpmate.
Yeah,
as far
yeah,
as
yeah.
the dogs. So, if you don't do it, it will be, you know, pushed on you one way or another. So, now the wrong direction would be talking about your past. It's a lesson you learn from it. You just got to move on. The next one is your pains. If you sit around talking about your pains all the time, that's where your energy is going to go. You're going to have more pains.
Yeah.
If you got a lot of problems, you're going to have more problems. And the last one is people. Like whenever you talk about people, you can't control anybody else. So when you're gossiping and you're talking about people, you're almost in almost like quicksand. You know, it's going to be hard to get out of that nature of trying to find fault in everybody else. And when you do that, you're basically not really looking at yourself. So the idea is not to talk about people, not to talk about your pains, not to talk about your problems or your past, unless you're reframing the stuff. You know,
Right.
You're trying to change the narrative around what actually happened. So to understand that is your words have power. Just like you said, the power of life and death is in the tongue. You have a choice. It's either your words can be medicine or they can be poison. You know, it's your choice. And we're actually put here with the image of God, you know, in us. So you're supposed to actually have, your first thing you should do is create.
Right.
So your conversations have creative components, which brings to pass the things you constantly talk about. So you have to watch what you're constantly referring to is what you're going to get. So if you think about it, a lot of people sit around and just worry about problems. If you sit there and talk about your problems all the time, that's what you're going to get more of.
Yeah, no
So
question.
you're telling God that's what you want. You know what I mean? He says, you know, do what you know, you want to direct your conversation a little more. Your position, your conversations determine your outcomes in life. Success or failure are linked to your language, and your conversations are known to elicit emotional states. That's the other thing. Your emotional state is actually going to be either energy or it's going to just drag you down in what you're trying to do. So the way you speak, you know, that's what you got to watch out for. All right. Now,
Stuff
going
here.
back. The world is changed by your example, not your opinion. What do you think they mean? The world's changed by your example.
Walking the walk, you know.
Walking the walk. Okay.
Like, instead of, you could talk all you want through things, but be an example by action.
I like that.
Yep. So there's somebody that said, "Be the change you want to see."
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, like I said, you're just talking. You're just
Talking,
wishing. You're just
yeah.
hoping.
Yeah.
None of that stuff is going to actually manifest anything. Okay, this is a deep one here. It's like the whole world is under a spell, and only a few chosen people can see through it. What do you think that means? We talk about
It's
this
like
all
the
time.
1%, from my understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's chasing, and once you get it, you get it, from my understanding.
Okay.
So they just distracted as I look at it. The world got everybody distracted, and whoever got it, they realistically think it's very easy, and they're thinking to y'all like, how come y'all don't get it? It's simple to me,
But if you don't have the eyes to see it, you're never gonna get it.
Yeah, right. I mean, even
You gotta learn that it's there.
yeah, even just say us in general. We might not see things that billionaires might see, or millionaires, stuff like that. So it's all.
Just to give you an example of that, I walk in my house. I told you this example before. My stupid stove never goes on. We don't cook at home. We just order out and whatever. If that stove, ran, say 10 hours a day baking cookies, I could have a cookie factory.
Yeah.
I mean, the potential is in everything. The only thing is our eyes don't see that potential unless you allow them to.
Most definitely.
That's why you got to renew your mind. You got to change your mind about things, about seeing the potential in everything, including people for sure. So, okay. So as you start to walk on the way actually appears. What are they talking about? That's a little.
It's like, I mean, the only way I'm looking at it is like you have to start to do something. Say most people, they have a thought but never start to do it. So once you start doing it, things are going to pop up and you're going to understand as you go.
I'll take it a little step further. There was a time in my life where I hit I guess rock bottom, if you want to call it that, and then I was trying to do everything myself. I was trying to, make things happen myself, and then it dawned on me to say, to pray and just surrender, surrender to His will. And I know that His will and my will align, but I said, you know what, I forget what my will is. God, what do you have for me? And that was that was a critical part in my life of getting on the path, just surrendering to the will of God. But I knew that His will, my will would align, and He knows what I want and things like that, and knows what I desire in my heart. But I can't. There was a time where I sold drugs, and it hurt, just to be, honest. And I'm trying to do things my way, and it just it didn't work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I didn't send them out of because I grew up in this wild neighborhood, but I came home from college, had a degree, lost a job. I was losing jobs in all of my 20s and things like that. And I said, man, why? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take it in my own amongst myself to do it. And and that was the wrong way. But,
Definitely.
But
Yeah,
I
one of
can
the
understand.
biggest truths that I read in the Bible was, whatever you lock up on earth, He's going to lock up in heaven. And whatever you loose on earth, He's going to loose in heaven. So the secret is, whatever you do positively here, He's going to help that out. You can actually stop heaven from giving you a blessing by trying to do it all by yourself.
Right.
The only way He's allowed to intervene is through prayer. Like if you ask Him, you have to give Him almost permission. It sounds funny that we got to give God permission to do something, but He does not intervene in your life because you have free will, and He's not going to do it unless you ask. And you have to go spiritual with it, because physically, it's like you're trying to do it all by yourself. And like I said, even in teaching, I ran into the same thing. I think I can control everything. I think I could do it. I'm at home praying. These kids is like, man, that's not me. It can't be me. All me.
Right.
But I go back the next day. They're absolutely fine.
yeah,
Because He can actually change the heart of the child.
That's right.
I can only physically try to push them down. That's the difference. So you did the right thing. All right. I have bled from wounds no eye has ever seen. There's no need to hide them. The scars are what makes a soul a human being. So I've bled from wounds no eye has ever seen. But there's no need to hide them because the scars are what makes a soul a human being.
Wow.
Yeah, that hits deep.
People's testimonies, man. You know, hearing people's testimonies, and we're here to encourage each other. Really, what we're doing now, encouraging each other, encouraging the audience.
Like that.
You know,
So what happens when you hide them? Any idea? When you lock it up on Earth?
Tell fake stories.
It only eventually, it's going to come out.
Come to light. Yeah,
and it's probably going to come out in a bad way. You know,
For
what I
sure.
mean?
Well,
But
here's
ain't
what
gonna
it
be
is
the
right
best
here.
for you.
The problems we don't fix become our limits.
mm,
So what you don't fix is going to stop you from getting to where you're trying to get.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure, like I said, the only way you can really fix something is first be aware that something was wrong, and then you have to bring it out in the light. You bring it out in the light, darkness can't exist when light hits it. When light hits it, there's nothing but light. So
Simple
that's
as
how
that.
you get rid of something. All right, so God buries strange jewels deep within us all. And then he stands back to see if we can find them.
Okay.
So what kind of jewels could he bury inside you?
The gifts. That's how I look at it. Yeah.
Gifts, yeah.
Mindsets and all that other stuff.
Mindset.
Personality.
All right.
You just got to go find it yourself.
So what do we usually do? We try to look where?
We try to look at ourselves.
Yeah, we try to look outside of ourselves.
outside of ourselves, the
To try and validate what's inside.
car we
Yeah,
drive,
instead of just,
clothes we wear.
So,
Yeah. We used to be like
yeah,
that.
the idea is to look in. Those who look in actually evolve. If you look out, you just kind of like sit and watch. All right, so people are portals. Choose wisely.
Mm.
Anybody know what a portal is?
It's almost like a way to get somewhere.
Yeah.
It can take you almost anywhere you want to in this world.
Yeah.
So if people are portals, choose wisely.
Oh, okay. It's like the same thing you just said. It's just summarizing, just the people that you surround yourself with or people that you connect with can take you anywhere.
They take you the wrong way like that.
Yeah.
Quick.
Yeah.
And I think it's more of that than,
Yeah.
like we talked about,
Than
the
the good
1%,
part, yeah.
and then the good, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, you don't just run into 1%. You
No,
have to
no, no.
intently have to go
There you
seek
go.
them out.
So,
The other ones are just there hanging
and that's
out.
the trick about it. Like,
Yeah.
'cause the other ones is so accessible. It's so
Yeah.
accessible to go the
They're
wrong way.
easy. Yeah.
It's really easy.
Because it's everywhere. 99%. You can find that anywhere.
Man.
Yeah. All right, we were talking about mind shifts the last about 1 or 2 podcasts. So I was going to go over 2 more mindsets and then we'll call it a day. Wow, the mind shifts, what they actually do is they give you the eyes to see beyond the present opportunities to future implications. So when you're able to change your mind, then you're able to change how you see things.
All right.
And the way you see things is how they're going to be. So if you change the way you look at something, what you're looking at is going to change.
Understood.
Okay? A problem is an opportunity if you look at it that way. It's just a way to get ahead. Okay? And the one thing you got to remember is you become the sum total of the people in your life. So who you hang around with, who you I don't know, just chill with. A lot of times you're going to be the sum total of all those people.
Yeah, these lessons, you be giving me these lessons forever, man.
I'm telling you, you
Forever.
got to hang around 'cause this is every week.
Yeah.
Anyways, remember mind shift number 1. It was called "It's All About People."
Yeah.
You got to remember the first part of your life is usually about acquiring things. Second part of your life is about having experiences and shaping your identity and self-worth. Where the third part of your life is all about people and relationships. So that's where I'm at.
I was about to ask
Yeah,
you.
I truly don't care about things anymore because I know what things are. You're supposed to love people and use things.
Mm-hmm.
If you use people and love things, you're all jacked up. So the reason why you want to start moving more towards people and relationships is because eternity isn't linear, it's relational. So what that means is when you actually get a relationship with your God or your creator, you actually step into eternity. Because your soul is what actually is going to live forever. What's really your spirit, my friend. It's going to live forever. Most of your soul is going to stay here. You can take your memories and stuff. You got certain intelligences in your spirit that are going to go with you, but your body ain't going anywhere. It's just going to get old and go back where it came from. But the idea is, though, like I said, you got to think about eternity not being linear. In the Bible, it says, "I am the Alpha and the Omega." The only way that could be is if it's a circle. Okay, so where he started is where he finished, so it's already done. everything is already written. You know, and like I said, it's the whole idea is that it's going to come full circle. So whatever he wanted in the beginning, he's going to get in the end. In the beginning, it's called Genesis in the Bible. I know you didn't look at the Bible too much, but the end's called Revelations. So whatever he wanted in Genesis, that basically Adam gave up for sinning, is going to come back to life in Revelations. So sin will be gone. We're going to have bodies that, you know, are not supposed to get sick. We're not supposed to know evil. You know, I mean, when we actually ate the apple, that made, you know, everything kind of crooked, you know, but it's going to come back full circle. All right. So mind shift number 2 is we don't need an audience. Nowadays, especially with YouTube and all that kind of stuff, that's the first thing they do. Try to see how many people you can get, how many followers you can get.
The views,
you know, that
yeah.
kind of stuff. So how many views. So we don't need that. We need different mental structures to create a different life. So this is what I was talking about with mind shifts. When you're able to shift your mind and able to see differently, then that's how you're going to create what you want as far as your different life. Okay? To create lasting change, a person has to change their heart and their mind.
For sure.
Okay? To create lasting change, you can't just think, "Oh, this is bad, so I ain't going to do it." Because if your body is basically like an addict.
Yeah.
Because it has desires, it wants things, it's going to keep going after it. You know, whether it's sex, whether it's money, whether it's, you know, a certain type of food, it's going to keep doing that until you're strong enough in your mind and in your spirit to say no to your body. That's why some people actually, you guys are about to start doing the
Fasting. Yeah.
Yeah, what that does is that tells your body, I'm in control. My mind and my spirit is in control of my body. And that's the way you want it to be. You don't want your body being in control of your mind and your
Simple
spirit.
as that, yeah.
If you do, then like I said, you're kind of like going in circles. So are you capturing an audience or is the audience capturing you? So a lot of people that want an audience, they'll do anything for it. And they'll just keep, you know,
Yeah.
just changing who they are so much that they'll never really know who
Yeah.
they are.
Seen a lot of people like that.
Yeah. Okay, mind shift number 3 is you can't take everyone with you. At first, you're going to try and make everyone happy, but some people can't go where you're going. Okay, we've talked about that before.
Ooh.
You're just not going to head in the same direction. If you are heading the same direction, then one of you guys is wrong. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Because your direction is different than the next person. So a lot of people come in your life for seasons, you know, not for forever. And you got to recognize that. You know, what season do you need this person? Or, you know, there are very, very few that will stay there forever. Leaders actually create clarity, raise standards, and call people to more. Okay, if you're becoming a leader, and like I said, you're not worried about an audience, you're actually going to create a division between you and everybody around you. Okay, because you're going to have standards. You know, you're going to have, you know, clarity in what you need or what you want. And if somebody just shows up and they're just hanging around, they're just not going to make it. All right. So if you do not learn from your choices, you will not learn from your choices if you don't experience your consequences. What's that mean?
You won't learn from your choices.
You will not learn from your choices if you don't experience your consequences.
Yeah,
a lot of times in school,
you
kids
just
will
let
make
it be. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll make a bad decision, and there won't be a consequence. You know, so it's like they're going to do it again until they actually get that consequence. Yeah, they don't even know it's wrong because it's just, you know, maybe.
Oh,
just
life
laugh
will
it off.
teach them when they grow up. For sure.
Yeah. Okay. What we do sometimes, we'll make bad decisions and we'll pray to God. It's like, please take this pain away. But you got to understand, no, God isn't about taking away your pain. He's about transforming your character. So he's about holding you to your choices,
Yeah.
giving you your consequences. Right. Because he knows you're not going to die from it. You might feel like you're going to die sometimes, but what's going to happen is he's going to allow you to go through it. And when you get on the other side, he'll know not to do the same thing. So that's what he's trying to do, trying to step out of the way a little bit. The mind shift number 4 was they won't get it until you do it. It's talking about you must break away from the gravitational pull of expectations. Do you have people in your life right now that expect certain things?
Nah,
You don't have
I set
anybody?
that boundary already.
You got that? He's been married about, 8 months?
Yeah.
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 Ooh, I
Thank
know.
you. Appreciate
Congratulations, and sorry to hear that. I've been 30 years, and
Yeah, you got
the
that one.
boundaries get blurred at times.
Yeah.
For sure. Like you said, if you stand firm,
Yeah.
you know what you want, you know, that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the biggest thing is you got to take time to find out what you really want to become. any idea what you want to become? Think about it.
What I want to become it. And you talking
In
about?
this life.
Man, that's so fluid.
I just want to enjoy life, ain't it? I don't want to become nothing but enjoy life and have something to take care of myself.
I think I just want to reach my full potential and
Yeah.
whatever that is,
Definitely.
And it always feels like I want to become something, but like you said, it's like I'm trying to grab something that's not there.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I focus on my potential,
For sure.
whether, as a father, as a dad,
You see, yeah, that's enjoying life. Yeah,
potential husband, or whatever the case may
for
be. as a
sure.
child of
Yeah,
God.
I can. Us all
Something you
enjoying
gotta-
life.
Something you got to realize. If you're trying to become something, that's not the way to look at it, because you already are what you are.
Yeah.
It's like I said, we're almost like an iPad. They don't have to add anything to an iPad. Once
It
a
is what it
creator
is.
made you, he
Right.
made with everything in there. You
That's
don't need
something you use
anything.
it
Most of the time, what it is you
Yeah.
got to subtract something, because it's something you pulled into your life that you think you needed to make you become what you wanted to be, but that's got to go away. The more you can get rid of, it's like that 80-20 rule. It's like, what is it? 80% of your outcome comes from 20% of what you input. So the other 80% is worth nothing. You just got to get rid of that, and then all of a sudden, then you scale.
Got the message.
Yeah. So you want to take time to nurture your own dreams. Okay, make the choices necessary to create the future you long for, and don't expect others to understand the path you have chosen.
Simple
Okay,
as
one of
that.
the easiest ways to kind of crush your dreams is tell it to a small mind.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you tell it to a small mind and they're like, "Oh, you can't do that."
Yeah.
Where you come from? There ain't nobody doing
I
that.
was just thinking about that
Definitely.
the other day, where as coming up as
Mhm.
had the dream and trying to go to the NBA and things like that. And I remember people telling me, "You never ever ever told me this."
Yeah.
Giving me statistics and about why I
5'9".
can't make it. And
Yeah, I know what you mean.
and a little I let that creep in just a tiny bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And got down on myself, but I guess they were doing it out of love.
No,
They
you
don't
good,
people
you
don't know
good.
any better either, but
See, they can't know what you actually feel inside.
That's
What
right.
God put in you. They have no idea.
Yeah.
They don't even know. They see your production, but they don't see what you did to get that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So you're willing to do certain things. But I'm gonna come at your neck a little bit. My next
And I'm
one,
gonna come at you
talent
now.
is a hallucinogen.
Ooh.
So I'll get you in a second. Okay. And the last thing is you won't see it until after you get it. You know what I mean? So like I said, you got to go for it. Okay, so mind shift number 5. That was just a review of what we did before. Mind shift number 5 is actually you are your own ceiling.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah, you stop
The way you
yourself
look
from
at
doing
yourself,
things.
the way you think you are, the way you act,
You not
the way
believing
you speak,
yourself.
Your conversations is going to be the ceiling. Now, life is hard. I'm not going to say it's not. Okay, there's going to be tribulations and trials. Okay, you may feel that you have more obstacles than opportunities. And some of your steepest obstacles in your life will actually come from within. Okay, so you got to think about that. If it's your mind stopping you, that's what's stopping you, and you can change that in a second by renewing your mind, trying to think a different way. That's why we're talking about the different mind shifts. So we all tell ourselves a story. Maybe I'm too damaged to be healed, too many mistakes to make something in my life. But you need to change your mindset as obstacles as opportunities. Okay, and you got to know that you're your own ceiling. So whatever you tell yourself, the guys that actually are the 1% or the ones that are millionaires and stuff like that, they say on all these podcasts, they're like, I just tell myself a different story. That's what you got to change your story.
Simple
And
as
it's
that.
like, why you tell yourself you're not good enough? Why you tell, like I said, if you tell yourself you're good enough, and eventually you'll believe whatever you say. Because belief comes from hearing of the words. So whatever words come out of your mouth, that's what your ear hears, and that's what that starts to believe. All right? So factors outside helped me build the box, but I was the one who sealed it. So
Repeat that again?
Yeah, factors outside of me helped me build the box, but I was the one who sealed it. So the box meaning like putting yourself in a box.
Yeah. Okay.
So factors
Are you
outside-
right? Okay, I get the point now. Yeah.
factors
Yeah.
outside help me build it, but actually you
I'm
have
the
to
one
seal
sealed
it.
it.
Oh.
Yeah, you're the one that actually sealed it. So who can unseal it?
Yeah. Yourself. Yeah. I was thinking too
It's
much
not
right there.
It's not your environment.
Yeah.
It's not your, anything around you.
Yeah.
It's you.
Because you accepted it and you made it you.
Right. So a lot of times you blame the world, blame your parents, blame God.
Mm-hmm.
It turns into a blame game. Okay, we spoke way back when, talking about levels of consciousness. The first level is to me. Most people that you meet, 75% of the people in this world, are living under a consciousness of to me, basically meaning that everything in this world happens to me, which is bad, because when you give up your power and blame other things, you're never going to get that power back to be able to change your life.
Right.
So they're just kind of in a circle of, just frustration, The second one is by me, which is, you see a few people that are the go-getters, they're doing everything themselves. Okay, if you do everything yourself, that's better than to me, but by me, you're going to burn out. Like right now, like I said, I'm almost burnt out with the stupid dogs. And it's by me and my wife. We just don't have any workers. And it's like,
That's right.
I don't know. The biggest thing is trust. You have to give up the need to control. That's what she has. My wife has this control thing that, I don't think anybody can take care of this. How do you know? We haven't tried it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying to actually have a business, you have to have more hands. You have to have more
Right about that.
Yeah. So the next one is through me. That's where I'm at right now. So if something comes into Arsenal, they ask, well, can I do this? I said, I'm not going to do it, but it can come through me. You know what I'm saying? I will actually, I can organize it. Now I'm the AD there. So, I don't even coach anymore. So my whole mindset has changed to where if it's going to get done, somebody's going to do it, and I'll make sure it gets done right, but I'm not doing it anymore.
Right.
I'm at that point where it's not me anymore. You guys got to get to that point in your life. And then the last one is as me. So if it's as me, basically meaning that you're the last level of consciousness, basically everything just kind of flows. Yeah, it's not even has anything to do with, worrying about through me or anything like that. It's just, you just become that,
Right.
what it is. Now, when you blame the world, blame your parents, blame God, all that stuff with the blame game, you're never going to create your own life.
Right.
Okay, so you might feel invisible, dead inside. You keep waiting for someone to break you out of the box. It took me a while before I realized that the box was in my mind. I built that box as a way of limiting my responsibility. Okay, that's the idea. You limit your responsibility when you don't take responsibility for anything. Once you take that responsibility, then that box is gone. And it doesn't matter that it's not your fault, but it's still your responsibility. So say you're doing something and somebody else does something and it kind of throws you off course. That might not have been your fault, but it's still your responsibility to thrive yourself.
It's
'Cause
definitely.
no one else
Yeah.
can do it for you.
Oh, that's guaranteed.
Yeah. So the height of your ceiling is a perfect reflection of your mental toughness. So how tough are you mentally is going to be your ceiling.
Okay.
So we've talked about emotional intelligence, relational
Yeah,
intelligence, talked about all
definitely.
these different intelligences. If you don't understand that, your ceiling's going to be kind of low because your mental toughness is not there.
Right.
Can somebody just talk to you raw and you just don't care? You just understand that they're just projecting on you, and that's how they feel.
Yeah, it can happen.
Yeah, and it does happen with me all the time with kids. They'll come at me sideways.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, I'm sorry you feel that way. How can I help you?
Yeah,
And
it's
they're like,
crazy.
You didn't cuss back at me. You didn't. And I'm like, no. It's like that's not how I am.
Yeah.
You don't have to match that energy. When you do, anytime somebody comes at you, they're always at a lower vibration anyway. Yeah. So if your vibration's high, they can't touch you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're just in a different planet. They're just they want to, but they can't get to you.
Right.
All right. So you'll be tough mentally when your optimal performance is completely unaffected by your environment. You got to think about that. If you allow your environment to
control you,
anything
yeah.
you do or control you, you're not going to be mentally
Oh,
tough.
yeah, for sure.
All right. So most limitations are illusions created by your fears, doubts, and insecurities. So most of your limitations are just illusions.
Yeah, you scaring
And
yourself
on,
and stuff.
that on your last point,
Mhm.
the forces are so strong against, like you said, your environment, man, with the music and, like you said, the social media.
Yeah.
Forces are so strong nowadays.
Yeah,
Think
that's
about this. The devil can do nothing but attack you spiritually. He doesn't have a body. He's not coming at you and biting your neck or making you do anything. But he could change your mind about stuff because spiritually is thoughts. So they come at you different ways with those thoughts. Yeah. So for you to be stronger mentally, you have to understand that that's how he attacks.
That's how he attacks. Yeah.
Yeah. So in your fears, your doubts, and your insecurities, that's how your limitations are. It requires a mind shift to see the ceiling is not even actually there. The box was never there. Okay.
Chill out, Lane.
Yeah, the whole idea is you built it, and when you take it down, you don't know what could happen. Like I said, it's got to be you though. No one can break it down for you. They can tell you something about yourself, but if you really don't believe it, it ain't gonna work. So when you take responsibility and stop blaming, you actually reclaim your power to be able to build your own. All right, so the last mind shift for today is called talent is a hallucinogen. What could that mean? Talent is a hallucinogen. What's a hallucinogen?
Nah, never heard of that one.
It's a drug.
Substance that I guess has you seeing things that aren't there.
That's what a
Or maybe-
hallucinogen
or maybe-
is. It makes you
yeah.
hallucinate.
Yeah.
It makes you see things that aren't there. So humans are on a desperate search to find healing and wholeness. We are searching for a pathway to unlock our untapped potential and achieve an optimal state of performance, especially if you're an athlete. So talent is a sign of promise, but without discipline, it will never realize its full potential. It has to be married with discipline. If it's not married with discipline, talent ain't nothing but a hallucinogen.
Right.
Okay, I've seen way more talented people coming at me on the pool table, but I put so much discipline and time into what I was doing. I wasn't really impressed with them doing these funny shots, and I'm like, I'm still gonna beat you. You know what I mean? Like I said, I stopped competing and I start dominating. That's a
Right.
mental thing. That's what I did in sports, in soccer. I'm like, I no longer compete. I dominate. Dominate's different. Dominate means that dude ain't got a chance. You know what I mean?
Right.
You might think you're competing, but you're competing with yourself because this
Yeah.
one ain't going to compete. All right, so for talent to translate into success, it must be forged in the pressure cooker of adversity and centered by character. So no matter how talented you are, you'll come to the end of your talent. When you come to the end of your talent, you discover the depth of your character.
Yeah. 'Cause-
Okay, so when your talent runs out and your character ain't helping,
yeah. It's not talent.
now
Ain't
you
giving you
start
no more
blaming.
benefits.
You start telling people what, you start blaming your teammates. You start blaming everything around you, your environment. Like I said, most talented people are not the most resilient. The ones that actually put that hard work in and really don't come with a lot of talent are the ones that are hard to beat.
Yeah.
I played a guy that he never beat me. This brother was hungry. We were in college, and I'm like, I had a little bit of money because I worked and did different stuff, but this dude beat me so bad. I'm like, where's this come from? He said, I haven't eaten in 3 days. I said, dang, just ask me for some money for food. I'd have given it to you.
You had to beat me
You didn't
that
have to
bad.
beat me like that on the table. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
this
It's
dude,
for 3 days.
and he didn't miss for like 2 hours. I'm like, this
Oh, yeah.
dude was
Yeah.
fire focused in.
Yeah.
All right, so if you lean exclusively on your talent, you'll collapse under the weight of expectations. Okay, most people think that we have to learn how to manage crisis more, but we really need to learn how to manage success.
Right.
Okay, because nobody really teaches you how to manage success. The way you do that is through your discipline, through your your resiliency, all that kind of stuff. If you have that, the success will not crush you, because it does crush a lot of people. They start a business and do really well, and all of a sudden they get like they relax, and that's why most businesses collapse in under 3 years, because they get complacent.
Forget what the workers like, and get complacent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to do too.
Man, a talented, leaning person is quick to blame other team members or outside factors for their shortcomings. They deflect responsibility because they are psychologically frail. That person must learn how to appreciate other people and to take personal responsibility for failure. I have a child right now. He might even watch this podcast, so I don't want to name his name. But he's really talented at soccer. But he cannot take responsibility for a loss. He's like, well, this guy should have did this. He should have did it. I'm like, dude, just, if you're never going to get ahead in life unless you actually learn from your mistakes. You know what
Right.
I mean, because you can get buried by them. But if you never really take the lesson from it, it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So, hard work will be mistaken for talent. So basically, mean if I work hard, I can look talented,
Yeah.
and your resilience will be mistaken for genius. So really understanding something, if you're really resilient, that's the magic you need to get ahead.
That's it.
So talent itself, like I said, is a hallucinogen. Okay, so if you don't have obvious talent, your success will be character, emotional intelligence, and resistance. You can still be successful leaning on basically God. Because God gives you certain skills and talents and stuff like that in your body, but when When you try and do it all by yourself, physically you're going to run and get crushed by, the expectations of everybody around you.
Right.
And when you do that, like I said, you start blaming, do all kinds of stuff like that. But if you actually put your time in and develop your character, your emotional intelligence, and your resilience, that's how you become successful. So aspire for a life of virtue, be humble, be kind, be generous, be courageous, have integrity, tell the truth, express gratitude, make love your motive, and serve others. Because talent moves fast and burns like high-octane fuel. Character prepares you for the long journey ahead. So the more talented you are, like I said, you can show off for a small amount of time until something is not going your way.
Right.
Yeah.
If something doesn't go your way, that's when your character got to kick in. It could be in business, it could be in anything.
Anything. Yeah, that's
Yeah, it
common
doesn't matter,
sense.
Yeah, because you can have talent at whatever you're doing in relationships or whatever. So, that's all I have for today. But
Okay.
do you have any questions or ideas or comments? I'm trying to think.
Not on my end.
No,
That was good. That was
it's a lot. It's a lot.
it's a lot of
quick.
information. Yeah,
Yeah, and like I said, it'll hit you on your way home
that's right.
on some of this stuff.
Definitely.
But
And in real life experiences, I've heard you say things and it hit me in real life experiences, and our conversations have surfaced back in my mind and things like that, and what you've been telling me since I was a kid, surfaced. So yeah, man, this stuff planting these seeds are important. Planting these seeds are important, man.
so when you plant the seed, what is the actual way you can tell that it actually is taking root? Or how does it take root?
See, start peeking out a little bit, and growing.
Yeah, water.
So you have to water it. So
Yeah.
when you actually start speaking about it, that's showing that it's taking root inside your heart. And the way you do that is by watering it, by nurturing it, by doing all the stuff it takes to actually grow a seed.
That's right.
But I'm saying if you do not, you can talk all you want, but if you're talking and you're not doing it, then you know it's not planted.
Right.
You know it's just, it's kind of surface. And it's going to die off. If you start seeing a change in your behavior, that's when you know that the revelation actually took hold.
Most definitely.
So, all right, that's about it, brother. So
All right.
wrap it
Appreciate
up.
you, man.
Definitely, this is the end of the episode. We'll see y'all next week.